Hello everyone, my name is Andy, and this is what I've been working on. This is Project Phases. This is a game that I've been making in Game Maker Studio. I've been working on this for a few months now, and I could probably get it done in like a week or two if I had time. But I've been working on this pretty much on my free time whenever I have the time to work on it. It's a lot of times in one sentence. So yeah, this is what I've been working on. I'm going to show it off, go through the basics. There's a lot, not basics, there's a lot to show off here. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. But first off, let me show you this pretty bad title screen. I wanted to make something, but this is what I got. It's not very good, mostly because my artistic ability is not that great, which you'll see in a minute. But it has some assets from the game itself, so there's some sprites up there. Those stripes are something you'll see later. The character and the enemies, the sword, if you can tell, that's what that is. It doesn't look like in a heart. You get the point. So we're gonna press start, and we're just going to show you. So this is the overworld, and as you can see, it's quite barren and not looking good at this time. But it will soon not be like that. That's probably something I'm gonna fix first, is get this to look a bit more lively and actually have stuff and more enemies and things like that. But for now, this is what we got. So yeah, I'll fill this with stuff up later, but I didn't really want to. I wasn't really too worried about the overworld looking nice for a pre-alpha beta demo thing. It's like, yeah. So the moment we tap this enemy, it will give us into the battle screen. So I'm just going to do that now because there's a lot to cover in the battle screen. So yep, there we go. So this is the battle screen. It might be a bit overwhelming, and I'm going to go through everything. Just bear with me. It might take a while, but there's a lot to go over, and once you understand it, it makes a lot of sense, and it's like the bulk of the mechanics and the gameplay that I had, the idea that I had. So let's start from the players. So this is the player right here. I'm going to be circling my cursor around. Player here, and this is the enemy. Pretty self-explanatory. So then we have the health here of the player. This is the health of the enemy. And then we have points and time. So points and time I'll get into later. Actually, I'm going to get into time now. So time, well, is connected to this. This is the timeline. This game is an RPG that is based around a timeline. So this right here is the timeline, and the timeline is split up into 3 phases. Hence the name Project Phases. You have the attack phase, the defend phase, and the wait phase. They all have different attributes and different things that make them unique and different from one another. And this time is how much time you have in the attack phase. So each timeline is split into 30. So there's 10 attack, 8 defend, and 12 wait for this player, for this entity. Now there can be millions of different combinations for different timelines, for different types of enemies, players, different types of things, and etc. Just an example right here. We have, this one has, I think this guy has 10 defend in the beginning, 12 defend, and then 8, wait, is that how that goes? I honestly don't know how much this is, I totally forgot. But here's just an example of a different timeline. It has a different order and different stats and things, and can just show the variety of the timelines and how varied they can get. And I'm hoping at some point I can get the timeline for the enemy to be randomized, so it's different for every enemy you encounter. So that would be cool. So yeah, that's what that time stat is. Pretty simple. Oh, I guess. And then we have points. So points relate to your attacks. So right now, we are in the attack phase. The player starts in the attack phase. Now, not all players or enemies or whatever can start in the attack phase. Like the enemy here starts in the defend phase. And I'll explain what each phase is in a second. So we have our attacks here. So if we have, let's say, so we have our 3 attacks. So we have slash, fury, and heal. Slash and fury attack the enemy, and heal heals you. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to say that a lot. So slash, if we click slash, a few things happen. Number 1, you can see point and time go down according to how many points in time slash takes. So this is 3 points and 5 times. And a good thing about it is that whenever it's purple, it means what's going to happen in the future. This hasn't happened yet. This is just all planning out. So you can see on the timeline there's this purple arrow that shows you where that attack is going to land on the enemy timeline. and that's right there during the defend phase. And then this is your order pane. So this is where the order of the attacks take place. So first it'd be slash. If we do another slash, then it'll go further and that'll be the second attack. But we're just going to stick with one for now. So the way the phases work, so the 3 phases are attack, defend, and wait. Attack, self-explanatory, is when you're attacking. Defend is when you're defending, and you usually take little to no damage, depending on the moves you get attacked with. Like slash, for example, usually does 10 damage. In the defend phase, it only does 2. That's just a special attribute I used to test, but I kept it anyways. Fury does 15 damage, but when it's on defend, it does nothing. So wait, however, is when nothing's going on. So you're just a sitting duck, just waiting there to be hit. So that's when Fury would do the full 15 damage, and a slash would do the full 10 damage. And I'll explain what happens if you get hit during the attack phase in a second. So right now, we're trying to plan out our attack. So we have slash here, which will be doing 2 damage, because that's how that works. So if we do it again, we'll see it'll end up in the wait phase, which means it'll do 12 damage. So with this little combination, we've already done 12 damage to our enemy, which has 50 health. So in order to end the turn, end the planning stages, to start the whole timeline, you press this end button. So I'm just going to warn you, it goes by pretty fast, so pay attention. So here we go. And then things happen, goes, animations go, we see numbers flying everywhere. So yeah, that's one little loop. So that's pretty good. And you probably saw the points in time went away as you did as the timeline went through. So a few things that have changed. This guy has 38 health. He did 5 damage to us, which is fine. We also got some points back. So every time you make a rotation around the timeline, you get 3 points, which helps stabilize. So points is a good stabilizer between the game. And I'll explain these 2 buttons here, which also have to do with points and things, in a second. So the way we are now, if we keep doing this 2 slash thing and keep itching him down to 12 damage, once he gets below, like, I think 16 damage, he'll start healing himself. So then it'll just keep going, and it's not the most efficient way to do things, especially since we're going to be draining our points very quickly. So at some point we're going to not be allowed to do this anymore. So a different strategy might be in play. So the best way to do this is by using this button, which is skip. So skip is pretty self-explanatory in the way that whatever phase you're in, you can skip that phase entirely and move on to the next phase. Alright, I'm back. There might have just been a cut there. I got interrupted while I was recording this. I got a phone call and I had to take it, so there we go. So, as I was saying, the way we were doing this initially wasn't the most efficient way. The most efficient way would be involving this button here, which is skip. And when you press this button, you will skip the phase you're in. So let's say you're in the attack phase. If you're in the beginning of the attack phase, you'll just skip the phase entirely. Skip the phase entirely and go straight to the defend phase. If you are in the defend phase, you'll skip to the wait phase. If you're in the wait phase, you'll skip to the attack phase, and just so on and so forth. And the enemy can do the same thing, but it doesn't have AI to do that yet, because it used to, but it caused too many problems. So I'm going to fix that later. So if we press skip here, you'll see we'll skip to the defend phase, and then wait, and there we go. So now we're back here. Quick thing to note is that skipping takes points. I think it takes 2 points or 3 points, I think. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check. So yeah, it takes points to do, which is another equalizer. So you don't use skip too often, because you also need points to use your attacks and things like that. So now we're in another predicament. So now we're going to get to a chance. So now we are in our attack phase, and our enemy's in his wait phase. So we use slash, we'll see that it will take place in his attack phase on his timeline. So what happens when you get attacked during the attack phase? Well, right now it's kind of up in the air, but the way I have it now is that, and this is probably due to change, I don't know when or how I'm going to fix this, because it's too OP right now. Basically, when you get attacked during the attack phase, you take a random amount of damage. So if you do slash, it'd be 0 to 10. If you use fury, it'd be 0 to 15, or anything in between. Take a random amount of damage, and then it knocks you to your next phase. So if we get attacked, it'll knock us to our defend phase, and we wouldn't do any attacks. If they get attacked, they will knock. They would be knocked to their defend phase. Go figure, right? Huh? Wow, I didn't even notice that. Anyways, so I've done this enough times to know that he will attack first, and we will be knocked into our defend phase. So I'm just going to show you that now. So yeah, and then he tried attacking again, but he couldn't because we were in our defend phase and didn't take any damage. Now, what seemed like a problem at first actually gave us an upper hand now because this has him ahead. We are ahead of him, so he is halfway through his wait phase just about, and we are at our attack phase, and he can take full damage here. We can use our strongest attack fury and get in a full 15 damage, which is great. And this is just a really good example of strategy and how a risk-reward system can really work and how it can kind of turn on your head. Meaning if I can get a chance to attack, it might not work for you in the end. So there's a lot of thinking ahead you have to do with this game. Now, of course, there's a lot of UI things that I have to make as well because it'd be kind of BS if you can't really see what the enemy's going to do. So I think I still have things to do with that to actually make it viable. But it's at least a really good groundwork to see how strategic it would be. So now we have this Fury here. We have enough points to do one more thing, and that's heal. So I'm going to do it right here. And so we're going to attack him with a Fury, do full 15 damage. He tried to attack us in his defend phase, and that's great. So it didn't work. So before I continue, I'm going to mention real quick, because I kind of mentioned this earlier. The enemy had a bit more AI earlier, where if you were in your defend phase, it would skip the phase. I took this out because 2 reasons. 1, it caused too many problems, and 2, because the enemy doesn't have like the point system like the player has. It's pretty simple. It just does attacks when it's in the attack phase, and if it gets hit in the certain phases, it'll do different things. I want to implement the whole point system here as well, point in time, so it's more fair until I add the skipping and smarter AI. And that's probably down the road. That made no sense. But anyways, so yeah, just quick little mention there. So now we're at another predicament, which shows the complexity and strategy of this little demo here. So now we can do a couple things. We can attack him with a slash, and I'll do 10 damage, which is great. But me knowing how this works, once he gets below 16 health, he'll start healing himself. We actually could win the fight, but I need to demonstrate one last thing. So we only have 4 points left, which means we can't use Fury. We can heal ourselves, but that doesn't do any damage or anything. And we can use this. And we can use Slash. So now, let's say we needed more points, but we couldn't wait the full rotation. Well, that's where wait comes in. So you can wait. This only works in the attack phase. You can wait through the attack phase, and it will give you points in return. It will give you 2 points for waiting through the attack phase on top of the 3 points that it gives you when you loop around. So you will get 5 points the next time you get to the attack phase, which can be a huge lightsaver. So, and since he attacks us during the defend phase, we don't take any damage. And there we go. So now I'm going to do... Can I do that? I can. So a quick little note right before I finish this, because I'm about to beat him. Let's say you try to attack using slash or something when you don't have enough time or points. A little notification here. I don't even know if you can see that or not. I honestly doubt it. You probably... Oh, the game probably froze now that I think about it. Anyways, a little notification comes up saying you don't have enough points. It's like a game thing. So it's not in-game, which I probably will fix at some point. So yeah, there we go. Man, the X-Story probably just got really mad at me. So yeah. And the same goes for everything. So we're just going to do that. Do our last bit of damage and just show him healing there. So this is heal animation. You probably saw it with us too. There's another one. Just, you know, why not? Because it looks cool. So yeah, we're going to take him out here. Actually, what? We don't? Oh, we're going to have to wait then. You know what? Skip. Haha. Okay, cool. So now we got the upper hand. We're going to do that. And finally, that means he'll heal. We'll get 8 health. Yep. Okay, and then we can do our final... Can we not? Well, we can do slash though, right? Yeah, we can. Okay, so slash, we'll take him out. So the moment we take him out, he will be will be taken back to the overworld, and the whole cycle starts again. So this is like in the game. I'm hoping to actually release this one day. So I'm just gonna finish the game here, and I'm just keep talking. So this is the end of this video, this little demo here. And the last few notes I want to say, I do plan to like release this in some shape or form. I don't know how complete it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be sold. I don't know if it's gonna be free. I don't know if it's just gonna be a cool little thing, a pet project, so to speak. I don't know. I've really enjoyed making it up to this point. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm hoping I can do more of this. Oh, he's gonna collide with me. I don't want that. So yeah. So if you like where this is going and you're even slightly interested, I'm gonna be posting these updates on it every once in a while. Whenever I get a chance to, whenever there's something significant enough that I can post an update about or a video about, then I will post one, and you can get posted on how the game's doing, and then you can input your ideas in the comments. Please, if you have any ideas that you might have in the comments, please tell me, because I'm up for ideas. It's not like I don't have ideas, it's just that any ideas would be cool. So I think that's all I have to say. I've been here long enough. This has been a really long video, and I'm sorry. Thank you for sitting through it. I hope you're interested. Please subscribe, like, you know, all that jazz. Wow, I said that. Wow. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time, and bye.